So our next talk, we've got Carol and Anne. Carol is a co-founder of Esther, and Anne is co-founder of Digital 54.
Start. Hello, you look wonderful. Have we all had our coffee? We're ready to rock. Okay, you can tell already we're taking this very seriously. Hey, women tech makers, good to see you looking so good. Big shout out to my co-founder, Eilish Moan, who is floating about there. Hello, high five. Okay, so we are going to kick off with a little bit of Q&A between ourselves. And we're going to chat about what it is to be mothers and working and founders all at the same time. Yes, we are crazy and also very smart. So just so you know. Okay, so I'm Carol Rossborough, CEO and co-founder of Esther, and I have recently joined the Propel program full-time in January, and Anne has also joined the Propel program. And
yeah, so good morning, everybody. Hi, my name's Anne Orr. I am co-founder of Aluna. So it's a digital app to help people who sit on boards of charities or boards of directors to help them have good governance. So thanks for having us today.
Yeah, it's great. So do we have any female founders in the room today? Yay, represent. Okay, great. Do we have anyone in the room who has ever had an idea for a digital product? Anyone? Great, great. Stay tuned. We will have you launching it by the end of the day. We want you to launch that thing. Okay, great. So let's get started. So Anne, tell me a little bit about, so first of all, let me just say, Anne is a huge inspiration to me. She is, this is not the script. I know, this is why Eilish should be here to keep me in check. Anne has 3 children and is launching this company, and I just think you're amazing. So Anne, what has been the easiest thing about being a female founder, and also what has been the most challenging for you as a female founder?
Okay, so so Carol and I met about 12 months ago when we both joined the co-founders program down in Catalyst, and we've kind of been on this parallel journey ever since. The easiest thing about being a founder of a digital startup is you've had a vision, you've had an idea, you've had an itch that you have to scratch, and the easiest thing about being a founder is getting out of bed every day and realizing that vision, getting one step closer every day, and just the empowerment that you feel when you're doing it. You're not always doing it in the right way, but it's really awesome when you get out of bed every day and you're doing something you really believe in. The hardest thing is almost the exact same thing, is you're never done. And if you are a mother or a carer, or if you're that primary person in your house that has to really gets a phone call and has that responsibility, that's the hardest thing, is you have to stop looking over here, and then you have to refocus back on that role that you have. So that's what I find. What about you, Carol?
Okay, same question to me then.
Yes,
yeah, right. Okay, great. So we've rehearsed this really well. So I think to start off, it will never be easy, guys, to launch your own business. If you founded anything, started a movement, decided to take on women tech makers as a volunteer, launch it, it will never be easy. But I think what we're here to say to you guys today is get out there and try it, because launching a digital product has never actually been easier. So there is incredible resources out there in terms of technology. I mean, if you're not following a guy called Kyle Gawley on Twitter, hunt him down and follow him at Kyle Gawley. He preaches hard on launching products before they're built, which as coders and developers is a really crazy concept. But with tools like Launchico and Airtable and Zapier and MailChimp, you can really hack together a really quick product and get it out there before it's ready, and really validate a market for what you're building without a single line of code, or before you've even invested time or even decided to do something crazy like leaving your comfy job that pays your mortgage. So I would highly suggest, it's never going to be easy, but there have never been more resources, especially for women. So that would be my easy thing, is that there's lots of resources. I think the most difficult thing is that, yes, you are taking a risk. I happen to have a really supportive husband who said, hey, yes, go do that crazy thing. You've got a 6-month runway to argue with me that you're going to actually make money out of this. So I will prove him wrong. So it is a risk, and you do need to jump in with both feet and run hard at it for whatever runway you have. you know, having a supportive network is really, really important, but having children is also really difficult. Making sure you've got the village around you to support you is really important. But also you get to hack your own life. You get to work when you want to. Anne and I are both big supporters of the 4-day work week. I try to take 1 day off midweek, and in that day I will do anything from read books, clean my house, batch cook. High five for the batch cookers. Get those foil containers out, girls, on a Sunday night. Pack that freezer. So it is just like life hacks like that. You know, like I was chatting, if anyone knows Nuala Murphy, chatting to Nuala Murphy before I jumped ship into this, and I was like, how do you make this work? And she said to me, Carol, hire a cleaner. And she's right. You know, it's those little bits of information as women that when you are doing multiple things, you really need to hear those little practical tips. So it's wonderful, you get to hack your life, but it's also difficult and challenging and exhilarating all at the same time. Okay, so we're going to jump straight into some slides. You can tell that this guy's very happy. It was completely Anne's idea to have animals all the way through this. So this is a porpoise, or a very happy-looking dolphin. And what we're saying is find your purpose, find your why. If you do not know your why, what you are doing is going to burn out. And I'm saying that in the nicest way possible, because the novelty of falling in love with technology is something we all have in common. For me, I'm not a technical person, I'm a marketer. And so when I started to research blockchain, for me, what I fell in love with wasn't a dispersed digital ledger. It was, oh my word, I feel like this could change the world. But people won't follow me or buy my product because I love technology. They will follow you and buy your product because you understand the problem that you're trying to solve. So to really illustrate this, I'm going to give you 2 very basic pitches. One of them will, and it's about my company, Esther, one of them will be a VC pitch, a product pitch, and one of them will kind of be a little bit more emotional. So hopefully you'll see the difference. So Esther is a peer-to-peer giving platform which allows you to send donations directly to recipients. We operate with a digital wallet, allowing you to give donations to people in need in your community with trust and transparency. So that is my kind of product pitch, which I love. Does everyone understand that? Peer-to-peer giving? Great. So that is great. I love it. It's product. People want to know about it. But let me introduce you to my friend Leah, and this is my other pitch. If you imagine Leah, and she is an educated woman, she has a degree in statistics, and she lectures in a university, and she has 2 children and a husband at home. And Leah all of a sudden finds herself in a war-torn country where her house has been bombed and she needs to find shelter for her and her children. At that point in time, her husband bails and moves to a different country and leaves her on her own as a single mother. So Leah then decides that the only thing she can do is max out a credit card that she has, and she moves herself and her 2 children to find asylum in another country because she is homeless and her children are starving. So she maxes out this credit card and she lands in Belfast. And as she comes here, she has 12 weeks of government support, and after that she is given a room in a hostel with a bed and a cot. Her 4-year-old has to sleep in the cot because her 6-year-old is in a single bed with her. Leah now lives on £36 a week. Would anyone in this room, if you knew about people living in our city, living on £36 a week trying to raise their children, would you want to help? I'm saying nods, right? So what Esther do is we give people like Leah who do not have a voice and are not visible to the wider public, we give Leah a voice and we make her visible and reachable to the wider population of Belfast who actually want to help. And so that is a much more compelling story. Would you agree that that catches your heart? That you understand the reason why we're doing this isn't because we have some class digital wallet that we absolutely love, we think it's awesome, but that it's actually about finding the heart of why you're doing what you're doing. So that's the difference between launching a digital product and loving the technology and finding your product market fit. So find your why. Your why doesn't have to be to change the world. So you can launch a coffee shop and you're picking a fight with someone who doesn't have recyclable cups. And you think, I want to launch a coffee shop. I'm picking a fight with these guys who are ruining our planet. So that could be your why. It could be in environmental causes. It could be that you want to launch a company that has an amazing culture for people to work in, and you want to see maternal pay and paternal pay for men and women to share that load of childcare. That could be your why for launching a company. It doesn't have to be to change the world. So what are you picking a fight with? What is your digital product about? And what are you passionate about? Cast that vision, cast that why, and people will buy the product that you fell in love with. Quickly moving on, there's our unicorn, dab. If you're going to put a unicorn out, we got a dab. So all leadership styles are valid. So you can be the type of leader that is a dreamer and a visionary, and that's great. But take that dream, sit in a coffee shop for 3 hours, but get started, okay? Launch that product with zero code, zero money behind it. With a Twitter video, with a LinkedIn video, with a landing page, you can drive something and you can tell whether there's a product market fit there. So dreamers and visionaries, get out there and do it. Okay, the hair. This is Anne and I running for coffee on a Monday morning. The hair is a type of leadership that's fast-moving, agile. You're a risk taker. That's definitely me, and I would say that's very valid. But if you're a hare, find a tortoise, which would be more Anne's style of leadership, right? Anne is a tank. She moves slowly. She is difficult to derail. Deliberately a force of nature. And I would say that's my co-founder, Ailish. She is a tank. She is difficult to derail. And while I'm way out here thinking, let's do this, she's like, Trello, focus, Carol. So all leadership styles are valid. Find someone who fits with your personality type and love them because you need them. Resilience. Do you not just want to kiss this guy? I mean, he just looks so happy. No, nobody? Right, no, me neither. So this is all about resilience. Kissing frogs. You're going to have to go around kissing lots of frogs before you find your Prince Charming. And this just means having lots of conversations and getting it wrong and being okay with getting it wrong. You will not get it right first time. So be resilient, always be pitching, be okay with rejection. A no is a good thing if you can learn that active listening and then pivot really quickly. And there was a great quote, Mark Suster, anyone know Mark Suster on Twitter? Great business guy. And he said, the health of a startup is not about the product, it's about the rate of iteration. It's the rate of iteration depending on your product market fit. So enjoy the ride, kiss lots of frogs, get used to it. It's a lot of fun. And handing over to Anne.
Thanks, Carol. Hi. Okay, so I'm just going to take a couple more slides to wrap up the presentation here. So today we're going to talk about, why it's never been easier to be a female entrepreneur, but being an entrepreneur in general is really a lesson in survival. And it's really all about learning to trust. So you've got an idea, you've got an itch that you have to scratch, okay? So right now, there's people in this room and they haven't told anybody about their idea yet, okay? But the first people that you're going to start talking to are your friends and family. But eventually you're going to have to move outside of that group of people and go outside that trusted network and then start telling people who maybe, through work relationships or meetups or, maybe you went to university with them or whatever, to try and to test your idea out in them. And they'll probably tell you that your idea is really, really nice. And then you'll start to get more and more confident. And then you'll start to go out even wider and people will start introducing you to people that they know. Okay, so your level of trust, it's high risk, high reward. If you're an entrepreneur, you're really going to have to start putting yourself out there and trusting that the sharks will not eat you alive. And that's what we're talking about here is, and there are sharks out there, okay? But as an entrepreneur, you will only survive if you can tell a difference between a shark, somebody who really just wants to kill your dream, and somebody who's just actually giving you really good advice. So, you have to always be actively listening. And if somebody is giving you advice, but maybe it's not in the most constructive way, what's the difference between that person who is trying to maybe help you and guide you and pivot you, and not necessarily a shark that's about to, you think they're really just out to kill your dream, okay? And that's emotional, it's horrible, it's heart-wrenching. And that's when you're starting to really become an entrepreneur. Those moments are they're horrible and they're dark and you just don't want to get up the next day. But if you don't get up, who's going to help Leah? Who's going to realize your vision? You have to do it, okay? And those are those learning moments that you'll go through, and they're totally awesome. Mm-hmm. Okay, elephants in the room. Money. Okay. So yeah, if somebody just gave me a big pot of money and let me just sit somewhere for a year, we would all have killer products everywhere. But unfortunately, that's not the reality. You either have to pay for childcare, you have to pay for things that actually, just to keep your family and your house going. So yeah, money really and cost of childcare for me personally would be the elephant in the room. I would encourage everybody to think about this is a journey, so you can do it in stages. So maybe you don't want to just take that big, massive leap and quit your job on a Friday and then start being an entrepreneur on a Monday. I certainly did it in phases, and I know a lot of the people in Propel program that we're on right now take a phased approach, both men and women. So you'll do some freelancing, maybe you'll work 3-4 days a week. Do it in phases so that you can still survive and you still have a quality of life. For me, the thing that really works is Slack, Trello, all those collaboration tools. They give you flexibility to work around it. Okay, so that's great. So cute, kittens. Kittens are great, aren't they? Yeah. No. Where? Kittens are awful, okay? So, yeah, we'd all love to sit around and watch YouTube videos of kittens all day. And there's nothing nicer than just somebody giving you a big basket of fluffy kittens and then handing them back again. Do you know what I mean? But this is going to kill you. You have to make a product, okay? You have a very short runway of time where you can actually take that leap, okay? And you have to start making progress all the time. So kittens are anything that you love to do, anything that's in your personal comfort zone. So maybe you love to code, maybe you love to test, maybe you love to meet people and have coffees. That's me. Maybe just whatever energizes you, whatever gets you buzzing, okay? But those single things are not what being an entrepreneur is about. You have to do the really hard things as well. So kittens can kill you. They can, honestly, they're so dangerous. But they're evil. Okay, nearly there, 2 more slides to go. Build a diverse team. Okay, so what I have here is we all have strengths and weaknesses, and as women, we're really brilliant at focusing on our weaknesses. We're awesome at that. I can't come up here because I don't really know how to talk, and how can I talk to you guys, and whatever. Use this as an asset, okay? Use what you know is your weakness. Take that and pivot it and turn it into a strength. And as women, we can really, very comfortably actually go to other people and go, could you help me? Mm-hmm. We don't have that level of ego, I think, and it's much easier for us to approach people and actually ask them for help. That's really important because you'll need a really diverse team. You'll need to fill in all of those gaps everywhere. So find out who you are. So delegate, ask for help. Find people who are 1,000,000 times better than you. It's really scary. Again, you're back in that scary place, but you have to find those really smart people and get and work with them because it's your vision, but you need those smart people to build it with you. Build your own personal skills as you're going along. Don't forget about yourself, but don't build a team of clones. So Scooby-Doo and Teen Titans, they all have different skills, but that's how they save the day. Okay, and then our last slide is find some adults. Because I can't turn the page. Okay, so who are adults? Okay, adults are your friends and your family. Who are your cheerleaders? Advisors and mentors. We cannot live without these people every single day. Thank you to all advisors and mentors out there and people who meet us for a coffee and free therapy people. So these are your adults right now. So mentors, meetups, programs, communities, groups, Carol on a Monday morning, whoever your adults are, just find those adults. You'll need them to keep you sane, to protect you from sharks, to share laughs with about all the frogs you kissed last week, to manage your elephants, so that's where your family comes in, and to keep your unicorn and your hare and your tortoise dreams alive. So thank you very much to Women Tech Makers, and I hope everyone has a lovely day.
All right. Oh, yes. Any questions?
Any questions?
I'm just wondering, as a woman tech maker, and a woman founder actually, I'm not sure if you're aware of the recent statistics that have come out of the British Business Bank that women-founded companies get all of 1% of venture capital. 83% of it goes to men-only teams. And I hate to bring up the elephant in the room, but it's a real problem for women tech founders, and I'm just wondering if there's anybody here who is aware of this, and also just like, how can we solve that? How can we level the playing field? 1% is ridiculous.
Absolutely horrendous statistic. You're absolutely, it's 1%. So I think there's two ways of looking at this. As females, we are the minority. So there's naturally going to be a skewed, investor money going to men because they have a higher ability to take risks, right? So for example, if you wanted to pitch at women tech makers, and this was something I think Victoria McCallum, wherever she is, said this to me, she was like, if a guy was doing this, he would put his name in for 6 talks in the hope to get one. Okay, if it was a woman, we put it in for 1 and we go, oh, I mightn't get it. Oh. So there is a very, women need to know how to take risks and step out and do this. So first point is we need more female founders. I think that's the thing. So that's why we're here today to say, get out there and do it. And secondly, I think we are trying to mitigate this in the business space by women-only grants. So for example, women in business, we're doing a competition, the IOD, we're doing a competition for women. And also there's a lot of VC funds out there just for women. So I think we can say, oh, this is a huge disadvantage. But if we really niche hard into these angel investors and VCs who are supporting women, there's a ton of money out there, guys, especially for technology. And there's a good distribution in our Propel team. We have some really fantastic women founders. So I would say don't let it deter you from jumping in there and taking a risk. I think there's never been more men out there willing to mentor. One of my main mentors has been Seamus Cushley from PwC, who has just worked really, really brilliantly with Ailish and I over the past couple of years. So, men are for women in tech. I think that's something that we need to be aware of. But we do need to get out there and get more female founders. But great question. Yeah.
My addition to that would be every statistic. Yes, that's a real statistic. That's a real fact. But VC money is different from angel money. Angel money is different from public funding, from Invest NI money. There's lots of different ways to get your startup funded and off the ground. VCs are looking for unicorns, and sometimes your dream and your vision doesn't match what they need to put on their spreadsheet. So maybe that's not the money that you're looking for. And as Carol said, there are a lot of people out there who have different pots of money. So don't let that 1% stop you. Yeah.
Any other questions? We're good. Going. Good. Okay. Thanks. Brilliant.